Happy Tuesday, everybody. It is a Tuesday, which is like a Monday, but less social distance between it and Wednesday. Everyone, it is 7 o'clock, and as it is true for every night at 7 o'clock, at least as whenever we can make it happen, we are here for trivia. Michael Barbine is the first. For those that don't know, if you are the first person into the chat and you say the word first, well, then you get a point. You just get a point because you were there and you participated, and we appreciate it. Michael Barbine is back in Virginia. He did a cross-country tour of the United States in an old VW VW bus, and is now back in Virginia with said bus. Every piece made it except for the gas cap, is my understanding. Emily missed being first. I don't know how that happened. There's no scientific way that she missed it, but somehow it happened. Steam and Karen are both here as well. So this is great. This is good. People filing in. We missed a bunch of people over the weekend and Memorial Day. I hope everybody had a good weekend. We went and did a bunch of our shows from the virtual burn that we did. I helped put it together. It was very exciting. People from all over the country sharing art and music and all these things in a virtual way. And it was very, very entertaining. And I think overall, I think that it was a cool experiment and the first of its kind. So we had a lot of really great things that we learned from it. Anyhow, so those are all things that we are doing. By the way, if you have not caught up, lots of interesting things happening in the news. Apparently, starting Friday, masks will be mandatory inside public places. So there you go. That'll be an interesting thing to see people fighting about that. I'll be honest. I've only worn a mask a couple of times. We went to the ER this weekend. Everything's okay. But I wore it there because I thought, there's going to be proximity of people who are sick and everything. Usually I'm a champion when it comes to like social distancing. I will go down other aisles. You have no idea like the lengths that I will do to get away from people. And so I think because I'm very good at that, I tend to shy away from doing the mask thing because although Lori made me a lovely mask that does have a pocket for my beard, it's still kind of open here on the side. So I don't know how effective it is. So, I guess I'm going to wear that now if I have to go anywhere that is public and enclosed, because I don't want to break the law. I'm not impassioned about it enough about that. I just, my preferred method is staying far away from everybody. So now I'm going to stay far away from everybody and wear a mask. So that's happening on Friday, apparently, according to the governor. Hockey season has ended. They have officially closed it down. The Washington Capitals actually did won the division. They're going to do a playoffs. We don't know what that's going to look like, but it will be weird that way. Masks don't protect you from other people. Masks protect other people from you. So wear a mask if you care about the health of others. I agree with you, Emily, on that fact. And I won't make the assessment that it would matter only if you're sick, because obviously you could also have asymptomatic. You could be asymptomatic. However, the social distance piece is also very key, right? So really the CDC says wear a mask if you're in a place where you're not going to be able to maintain social distance. And so the way I've always done it is maintain that social distance. I'm always like 10 feet away from people. Even if I go to Target, I will wait 5 minutes for somebody to go down an aisle and figure out whatever they want to go grab my thing and get out of that aisle. And so I've done like football moves just to be able to get away from people. And that's the real way, right? Like no masks at all. If you're 10 feet away from each other, it is as effective or it is more effective, I think, than being close and having masks. Less effective, I assume, than being far away and having masks, but far away and having masks are equal, essentially. So anyhow, so we're going to wear masks. That's cool. Right. Yeah. See, people try to get in, but I'm I'm very what's the right word for it? Like, I will like put my cart between me and other people. Like, I will do things to like physically, and they can get mad at me if they want. That's fine. Like, they can be like, you know, they were like, oh, I'm trying to get through. And I'm like, I know, but there's social distancing. So give me a second. And then like, I'll walk with you so that we don't have to like get near each other. It's fine. Like, so, and I go at very unpopular times, which helps. But we're new masks now. So that's really interesting. We'll see how the people who are firmly against masks, which I'm less so because I just think it's not as effective for me. And that's why I've been not against them, but like haven't been abiding by it. I've been trying to be very good about the social distance. Now they're going to be legally required, I guess. So I'm going to wear that and keep my distance because I don't know how effective my mask will be with the beard. CDC said that they're not terribly effective. So I will also keep my distance. I'll do both, and that's fine. But it is an interesting world there. Craig says it was hockey season. Well, yes, hockey season. It would have been the playoffs now, but they had delayed the hockey season. They had said that they were going to take the hockey season and have it back here at some point. But that isn't happening now. They've just ended it. So Septic says it's been mandatory over in the UK for about a month. So that's good. All right, so there you go. Emily has gotten her t-shirt and says it is marvelous. That's great. Craig says he has his t-shirt. Did he give a review? No review from Craig. He just says, I got a t-shirt, whatever, I don't care. You can all eat it. I've got my t-shirt. I don't need to say another word about it. All right, so we are at, let's see, we're at 16 people now, so let's do this. Let's get started. Caitlin is not here to help out, so I'm going to be doing this on my own. Again, I appreciate your patience with me because there's a lot to do for one person handling all of the things. We've got a bunch of people on Twitch, 5 people on Twitch, which is cool. That's one of the goals that I have to have. If I have, I think it's actually only 3 people watching consistently, then that... Plus, I think I need 50 followers, and then I can go and be an affiliate over there, and they can give me money, which is cool. Let's see. Karen says my son wants to steal my t-shirt. All athletic races have been canceled for a year, an entire year. Wow. We started canceling things kind of in, I would say it was like March. Yeah, March, April, and then everything's been done. March Madness got canceled, so it was definitely March. So, all right, let's go into question number 1. For those that don't know, just answer in the chat and you will get a point. First person to get the answer correct gets a point. Question number 1 is in what term is used to describe laws that regulate moral behaviors such as the sale of alcohol on Sundays? There's a term for this that we're looking for. So write that down. Like I said, if you get the answer correct in the time allotted, 60 seconds that I have here on the clock, then you get a point. If you get it first, you get 2 points. We've got D-Lags over there on Twitch as well. Hello, D-Lags. I have no idea if that relates to anybody else we already know if you're brand new, but welcome if you're brand new. We're just doing some trivia here, and we're happy to have you on board. We start on Mondays. We get all of the points up for the week. Whoever wins the week gets a free t-shirt, and some people here have already won previous seasons. A season is 1 week. We're making it sound cooler by saying season. At least I hope that's the case. We want to be cool, so it's very important. I haven't gotten to enjoy my t-shirt yet because I picked it up from you while running errands and put it right on my pile of potentially plague-ridden purchases, so now it's in the wash. Well, that'll do it. Okay, time's up. Let's go to the chat, and we'll see what people guessed. Looks like we've got a bunch of people saying blue laws. Dan Wolf has joined us again. Hello, Dan Wolf. We didn't have you earlier, so I'm gonna have to add people. Dan Wolf to to the list here. This is good. We're glad to have people who join us from time to time. It takes me a little longer to get everybody on the list as they join, but it's always nice to have a lot of people. So I am not complaining by any stretch. Let's see. I'm trying to see if did anyone not get Blue Laws? So the answer, by the way, is Blue Laws. That is correct. So we've got a lot of people with points, which is great. This is what we want. Tuesdays should be a little easier for everyone. That's our goal, is to try and, keep it a little more, competitive. And then as it gets harder throughout the week, on Sunday, hardest one. And that's when you're going to get the finals for who gets the t-shirt. D-Lags, where are you coming in from, by the way? D-Lags, are you in the U.S. or over in Europe, or where are you hailing from over there on Twitch? Baltimore. Cool. We're just down outside D.C. We're in Fairfax County, Virginia. So I think I've got everyone. I forgot to write the times up over here. I got to get better at that. And let's see. Oh, Dan Wolf is your referral. Very nice. You know what? I will give you a point, Dan Wolf, for having an extra person join us that we've never had before. Because on Facebook, if you share the show, you'll see alerts show up on the screen, and you get a point for that. But I figure on Twitch, if you bring in a referral, that should also count, right? Or if you host the show or something. I don't know exactly how to do that, but if you do, that seems like you should also get a point. Okay, so I think I've gotten all the points. Karen started with the correct answer according to my recollection. So with Blue Laws, almost everyone got it, it looks like. So this is great. So we're going to move on. I'm going to show you real quick, by the way. I'm going to move over to our main scene here. And I want to show you, if you're over on Facebook, if you're on the Book of Faces, you can share the show on Facebook, and it'll actually show up on the show. So you'll see an alert come up here. You do have to share it on your profile. See, like I just did here, but right? See how I've shared it? So you'll have to share it on your profile, or share it on somebody else's profile publicly, or you'll have to share it to a group. Each unique share will get you a point. So if you share it to your profile 3 times, you just get 1 point for that. But if you do it to your profile and a group on Facebook and on a friend's wall, then you get points for that. If, however, you do want to just refer someone in particular, and you don't want to do it publicly on a wall somewhere, you can also do that, but just make sure that what you do is tag them in the chat, right? The little their name. That way we see it, and just call to me and make sure I get that. I'll give you a point for that as well if you do it. I just want to, I got a lot of things I'm juggling, so I may not catch it right off the bat. So there you go. Let's move on to question number 2. Question number 2. What is the name of Bob Marley's backup band? 60 seconds. So when the great Bob Marley would play live, what was the name of his band? We need that in the chat. This one I knew. Caitlin actually put it all together, and I actually got it. So yeah, I would, this is one of those ones that's tough, because I would really want people to get the spelling correct, but I know that we've also said that we're not big on spelling. So I think we're going to have to go with the normal rules, right? Which is that as long as we get the gist of what you were going for, we're going to give you points for it. But there's definitely correct answers and incorrect answers for this. Just so I am aware of this, is what I'm pointing out. About 10 seconds left to get your answers in. Definitely get that in before time elapses. We want to get you the points that you deserve. All right, let's go to the chat, because time is up. We'll keep an eye and see when Facebook catches up to that. And we're seeing a lot of very similar answers. I will say that. Very similar answers from folks. Hopefully that's right, because I'd hate for everybody to not get a point. We want everyone to win. That's the fact. Fact of the matter. Want everyone winning. All right, time is up over on Facebook as well. We've seen all of the answers that we're going to see. It looks like most people went with the Whalers, which is correct. The correct answer is the Whalers. We're not going to be really specific about this, although I'd like to. I'd like to ding you guys on this because there is a correct spelling on this. And not everybody got it, because you can see that some people wrote it whalers as if they were killing whales, right? Some said it was like killing whales, and some people said it was like if they were like screaming, right? If you're screaming or wailing. And I think that it would be pretty easy once you think about that in your heads, which one is probably the one that that he would want to be associated with, and which one he wouldn't have wanted to be associated with. So I think the people who spelled it with an H probably realized that that wasn't correct. Still gonna give you points for it, okay? Because it still sounds like whalers, and that's kind of been our go-to for a while now. Is if it sounds like the right answer, we usually give it to you. But the correct answer, when it comes to spelling, is Wailers. It's the people who are wailing or screaming or singing, right? It's a backup band. So there you go. So that is the correct answer. Everybody gets points for that. I gave the first points to Dan Wolf Music. You know what? I'm going to do something a little different because it's my game and I get to make up all the rules. I'm going to give an extra bonus point to Gordon as well. Instead of getting just the 1 point there, I'm going to give him a bonus point because Gordon was the first one to get the actual answer correct. So Dan Wolf, you get a bonus point for answering first and being like technically correct by our rules, which is that I knew what you were mentioning. But I'm giving a point to Gordon for getting it correct. It was whalers, or at least, you know, spelling it correctly. Technically, the Whalers, I guess, would be the most correct, but I'm going to go with the fact that you got the spelling of whalers correct, I think deserves a point. So that's how I'm doing it, because I'm crazy and I make up the rules. So let's move on to question number 3. What is the technical name for a collarbone? 60 seconds on the clock to get your answer in. Also, another option, by the way, if you think that nobody's going to get the answer correct, you can also throw a Karen. And what that is if you think that no one else would get it correct, you just type the word Karen with an I into the chat. And what that says is if nobody else does get it correct, then you're going to get a point. But it's a bit of a gamble, because if anybody does get it correct, then you're going to lose a point. All right, so you get a point even if you didn't know the correct answer, but you lose a point if anybody else did know it. So that's another option if you think that maybe somebody else also wouldn't get this correct. So that was invented by our good friend Karen, as you might expect from the name of it. One day she just said none of the above, and so we thought it was a cool idea. And we went with it. All right, time's up. We're going to go to the chat and see what people are saying here. A lot of clavicles, it looks like. There's a lot of people. It seems like, I don't know if we do have, Renita says sternum. So we got somebody going off that's good. So Renita might be able to take a point from everybody else here if you're not careful, because once you have somebody going with a different answer, that person could end up getting out ahead, right? That's one of the advantages of that. But unfortunately, in this case, the answer is clavicle. It's actually clavicle. I know this because I broke mine. I broke my clavicle when I was in high school. I was at a theater camp, And you would think, how the hell do you break a clavicle in theater camp? But what we were doing is we were playing Ultimate Frisbee, which is quite fun. And so we had snuck away, essentially, and decided that we were going to go play Ultimate Frisbee in the gym, which is fine. We were allowed to do that. And then, let's see. So that was, we were playing that. I went to, so they threw it to a guy, or threw it to me, I guess, and I dove for it. And then the guy who was defending me landed on top of me. And I don't remember hearing it break or anything, but I remember trying to push myself up from the floor, and it hurt like the hell. Like I could feel it. And my hand went over it immediately. And they were like, "Hey, are you all right?" And I was like, "Nah, I think I broke my collarbone." And they were like, "Oh, what should we do?" And I was like, "I'm going to go tell the counselors." And they were like, "Okay, is it all right if we keep playing?" And I was like, well, sure. I mean, I'm not going to keep playing. So they kept playing. I went to the counselors and I like poked them and I was like, "Hey, I think I've broken my collarbone." And knowing me, the clown that I was, they were like, "Ha, you're so funny." And then they like their face changed and they're like, and they took my hand off of my shoulder and they were like, "Go get the van." And so they drove me to the hospital. And yeah, it's terrible because the thing is that they don't have anything to do. There's nothing they can do about it. They're like, they look at it and they're like, "Yep, that's pretty broken." And then they send you home with like a sling, or I had like a figure 8 thing that like pulled my shoulders back, but they can't put a cast on it or anything. You just have a broken bone. It's just broken. And mine ended up healing like this. So mine healed. Your clavicle looks like this normally, but mine healed like that, right? Where it's like on top of each other because you can't set it or anything. Theater camp. I was doing acting at the time, acting and singing and dancing and stuff. Although I did do some tech stuff from time to time. In college, I learned some of it. In high school, I did some of it. But yeah, mainly the acting piece. And then I went into music and did that for a while. So yeah. So lots of people got that correct. D Lags looks like the first person that came in. Karen and Dan Wolf. Dan says, "Oh no, Twitch is delayed tonight. What did you do? It was my only advantage." I don't understand, Dan Wolf. You got beat by 2 other people who were on Twitch. The first, like, for 4 out of the first 5 answers were all Twitch. So I don't think it's actually lagged over there. I think you're doing pretty good. Still the advantage over there on Twitch, just so you know. They, for some reason, have less lag than Facebook. YouTube also apparently has less lag than Facebook. We did some interesting stuff around that to determine what the quickest way to get the answers were, but it looks like Twitch is. Seems like it's de-lagging. Oh, okay, good. Well, I'm glad that it has unlagged itself. Let's move on to question 3. Is it question 3 that we're on? No, question 4. We're going to question 4. Here we go. What philosopher is known for saying Cogito, ergo sum? Cogito, ergo sum. Yes. Yes, that is it. Anyhow. Yeah, give me that answer. 60 seconds on the clock. You can read it. You've got it. It's Latin. I'm just saying. It's Latin. Good enough. All right, so let's see. I missed your pun. What did I miss? It seems like it is de-lagging. I don't know. Yeah, I missed it. I totally didn't. I bet you're sorry you invited me. No, not at all. Invite him. Oh, because he's beating you. That's the problem. I got it. That's terrible. All right, so about 25 seconds left on the timer. So you'll want to get your answers in as soon as possible. I'm going to try and go through and get out ahead of everybody the best I can. Again, Tuesday is a little easier than some of the other days. So if you're feeling like you need a little bit of a challenge, hang in there because as we get later in the week, it is going to get crazier. Time's up, so we're going to go over to the chat and wait for Facebook to catch up to see who all was able to get answers in. La 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 la. Where was I? I feel like I was there, right? I feel like maybe. I don't know. I'm going to mess up all of these points is what I'm hearing. That's probably what's going to end up happening. So I hope that you're following along at home and keeping your own points. Hey, Nikki is back. Welcome back, Nikki. We're so glad to have you. All right, so time's up over here. The point is, the answer is, as many of you know, Rene Descartes, which looks like Rene Descartes. So yeah, we got that. Craig went with Thomas Morvello Riddle, which is not correct and is not even worth a style point because that's what you always guess when you're not sure. And that's sad is what that is. You should not, you're smarter than that. You're funnier than that. I demand more from you. And so, yeah. But like I said, please do try and keep track of your scores at home because there's always a chance I'm going to get it wrong with all of the things that are happening. Because we're getting lots of correct answers. And so I have to go through and make sure everybody gets their answers, their points. Happy Tuesday, Christina. Gordon went with Vince Lombardi. I'm going to give you a point for that. That's I don't think Vince Lombardi ever spoke Latin. But yeah. You got D-lagged. I see. Now I'm getting it because his name. Diana wants to say dirty Latin words. Say dirty Latin words. Do it, Diana. Descartes is sitting at a bar and someone comes up to him and asks, "Is this seat taken?" He replies, "I don't think," and disappears. Because he wasn't anymore. You get it? Let's see. Distracted tonight doing a grocery list, so I'm off my game a bit. Oh, well, it is a lot harder to do trivia while distracted, isn't it? All right. So those are all the ones. The one that I got correct, let's see. First one in, it looks like, was Trey. 2 points to Trey. D-Lags, Danny, Emily, Nikki, Melissa, Steam, Dan, Wolf, Renita, Septic, and that's everybody. So do take down your points. We would appreciate that because I'm going to try, and after this next question, we're going to go through and make sure we're on the right points for everybody because it's just me doing this, and there's a lot of windows right now. If I could show you just the sheer number of windows, I guess I could. I don't know if it'll show you the answers. Hopefully it won't. Da-da-da. There's like just all kinds of things happening. So yeah, there's like four different windows on this screen over here, and then a big chat over here so I can follow along. But all right, so let's go on to question number 5, the midway point of the show. Question number 5 is, in what movie will you find John Travolta wearing a t-shirt of the UC Santa Cruz Banana Slugs? 60 seconds on the clock. The University of California Santa Cruz Banana Slugs. That's their mascot, by the way. Guess this is kind of a sports question, maybe. So yeah, he is John Travolta wearing a Banana Slugs UC Santa Cruz t-shirt. Which movie is that? Which movie? He's done a bunch of movies. There's about 30 seconds left to get your answer in as to which movie it could be. But there are a bunch out there that he has done. So it could be any of those, obviously. I guess it could be sports related. That's something, right? Probably, maybe it takes place in California. That could be another possible hint. Let's see. We've got a few. Look Who's Talking, Pulp Fiction, Grease, all ones that I think he was in. So those are good guesses. Time's up. We're going to go over to the chat and let Facebook catch up with us and see who all is able to get this correct. It looks like Pulp Fiction's the most popular answer so far. Definitely not really sports related, I would say. That's not a sports movie in the grand scheme of things. It's more of about burgers, maybe, right? So that was the one where he talks about burgers, right? All right, let's see. Facebook has caught up. And the correct answer is Pulp Fiction. That is actually correct. So a lot of people getting points, and I'm just going down the list to make sure that everyone gets the points that they deserve. And then what we'll do is we're just going to go over all of the points that everyone's gotten. Let me know if I recorded them all correct, because one little typo on my part. It's surprisingly difficult to like talk and type numbers and do math. I don't know if you're aware of that, but if you're trying to talk about one thing and like go find a list and do math and add numbers to it, not the easiest thing in the world. So that's something that you'll learn. Yeah. Septic says, I have no idea what a banana slug is. It's a type of slug. It is a banana slug, a type of slug. And it is the like sports mascot for UC Santa Cruz. Renita says, I'm not old enough to see Pulp Fiction. Oh, I didn't know that. How old are you, Renita? Maybe I should not be saying some of the things I'm saying. If we have, I apologize if I'm corrupting the youth, but I don't care. That is not my problem. The Royale with cheese. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, it's a quarter pounder with cheese, but in France. Burgers and heroin, a great combination. Yellow slug that looks like a banana. That's what it. Trey knows. All right. So, isn't it your responsibility to corrupt the youth? I suppose, at least in some ways. So I'm gonna sort what everybody's scores are here by reverse alphabetical by number. And 52. It's okay. All right. You're 52. Yeah, I wouldn't watch Pulp Fiction then. It might be a little too old, too mature for you. All right, so with 1 point so far. Remember, this is not counting the shares that you've done on Facebook. This is just shares that you've done in the chat, and then correct answers and bonus points. With 1 point, we have Barbine, Diana, we've got Jenny, and Nikki. For the record, for those that don't know, if you were around Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we did kind of a live broadcast from Virtual Del Fuego, which was an online burn. Diana helped put all that together, so give her a round of applause for helping organize that. I helped with some of the technical sides of things, the coding bits, but she kind of launched that idea and helped us make it happen. And so, yeah, just something to be appreciative about. With 3 points, Craig and Renita both have 3 points. 4 points, Danny and Septic Scope. Emily and Gordon and Karen and Melissa and Steam all have 5 points. D-Lags and Dan Wolf tied up at 6 points apiece over there on Twitch. They are fighting it out. And Trey with the lead right now, a very narrow lead with 7 points. So if you believe that your point total is different than what I have, let me know, because there's definitely a chance that I've gotten it wrong. Yes, you could be a jerk and try and tell me that you're supposed to have 40 points rather than the 2 that you have, but my life is going to be difficult enough today. Gordon wants to know if there was a virtual slip and slide. Let's see. We didn't have one, but I think we should do that for next time, maybe. I heard that there was a virtual bar, which was kind of cool. And that virtual bar, Septic, you said you think you have 5 points. I would believe that. So I'll give you that 5th point. I probably skipped over it somehow. But we had a virtual bar, which was really interesting. A bartender came on, and what you would do is you would join that room, right? And you would take your phone and you'd go to your pantry and your liquor cabinet, and you would also go to like your fridge and freezer and show them all the things that you had in those places, right? And then they would come up with a cocktail for you by mixing different things. You would mix it up and you drink it and let them know what you thought of their cocktail. And it was really popular. A lot of people had really good cocktails. So let's see. Did Facebook feed go wonky? I didn't see anything on mine. It doesn't, looks like Facebook's still online and rolling for me. But yeah. It might be worth refreshing or something. So you may want to do that if that's the case. But yeah, great job to Diana Smiles for being able to keep wrangle everybody and help make that happen. I think it was a lot of fun. And then, let's see, what else? Let's see, a banana slug slang for male private parts. That's not true. That isn't. All right. Love the energy here. Be with you. Yeah. Thank you. Stay with us. We appreciate having you here, Renita. So, all right. So let's go. Ian says he has 40 points, which is not true, but because he just got here. Welcome, Ian. We're glad that you have joined us. You can keep everybody entertained while I try and keep up with points. Refreshing it, fixed it. It just paused for a few seconds, then restarted the feed from the beginning. Super weird. Yeah, that is super weird. Sorry about that. I don't know why it's doing that. But let's move on. That was the halfway point. For the record, I would like to say, since we're halfway through the show, I also have a podcast called Another Wasted Hour. We do this at 7 o'clock every night, so you can join us every night at 7 o'clock. And but the podcast is also called Another Wasted Hour. You can go up to Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, anywhere that you would go get a podcast. Search for Another Wasted Hour. You can catch us. There's about 140 episodes. It's really funny. A lot of great comedy. We find some crazy news from around the internet. We do some trivia. And we also expose you to some artists and musicians from the DC area. Very talented people. My friend Dan Wolf here, who's joined us a few times, is one of the guests on that show. He has fantastic music. Dan Wolf, throw your URL there in... yeah. Oh, this is the link. Is that one F for you and one F for me? Is that your episode, Dan? Was that the one that you were in? And then... but yeah, and Dan Wolf, put your music link as well so people can check that out as well. Because you're a very talented man, and people should check that out. So yeah, go do that. We'd love your reviews and stars and things like that. I would appreciate that. No, go check it out. You can check out Dan Wolf's episode. It's a great episode. So let's move on to question number 6. Oh, before I do that, other thing. I forgot to tell you. If you win the week, if you win the season, you can also win a t-shirt from Another Wasted Hour. So we'll ship this to you free. Septic, have you gotten yours yet? We shipped it over to the UK. I don't know how many years it's going to take to get there. I assume that it's going by carrier pigeon or something. But yeah, you get that at the end of the week if you're the winner for the week. So yeah, that's what we're going for. We tally up all the make-believe internet points that aren't worth anything that you have earned throughout the week. And then we ship you that if you're the winner. So let's go to question number 6 now. Question number 6 is, Art Fleming was the original host of what TV game show? Art Fleming. It's a pretty famous TV game show. What was he the original host of? He no longer hosts it. He may be dead. There's a chance he's dead. I don't know that for sure. But get your answers into the chat. 60 seconds on the clock. We definitely want to find out what you think of the shirt when you get it, Septic. So definitely let us know when you get that, and and how you like it once it does arrive, because I think it's a pretty nice shirt. Honestly, I've gotten good reviews from those people who have worn it. Even Craig said it was a nice shirt, even though he refuses to wear it because he says that it is doused in viruses. So we didn't do that on purpose, I will say, but that was his take on it. About 15 seconds left on the clock. You'll want to get your answers in if you want any chance of winning the night. If you win the night, you not only get an acceptance speech, but you also get the opportunity to choose the color for the studio for tomorrow. Trey picked teal, and this felt kind of teal. I don't know how I did on that, but Trey, if that's wrong, let me know and we can fix it. I promise. Ian has put a YouTube video onto the chat, which makes me think that that's a terrible thing to want to click on. We're going to the chat because time is up. We'll wait for Facebook to catch up. And I will try and get everybody's points figured out here while we're waiting. I feel like I need more light on my keyboard. That's kind of the problem as well. If I could just type a 1 or a 2 every time and it would add it up, that would be kind of cool. I should probably change that at some point. But all right, Facebook is caught up. We've got all of our answers in. Let's see. I think that was my last one. The actual answer is Jeopardy. So lots of people with points. Let's see. I still need to get some people's points on the book. Please keep track of your points as well, because I am not good at this part as much as Caitlin is. She's more mathy than I am. So it's very likely that I am going to accidentally put numbers that I shouldn't be putting there, and you'll lose points probably, and everybody will be mad at me, and I will be sad, and I will cry myself to sleep. So only a few people got it wrong, it looks like. Ian says spitting for dollars, which is not really an actual answer. I feel like that doesn't. I'm gonna give you a style point for that one, because I don't think that that's real. And password, says Lori, which is unfortunately not the correct answer. But thanks for joining us, Lori. I'm glad you're able to come in. That link is safe. You will definitely not be rickrolled. Let's see. Oh, it's an answer. Is it a song about Art Fleming? Is that what it is? I didn't even know that there was a song about Art Fleming. Caitlin, tell Caitlin I have the antidote for mathy, so that you can make her not mathy. Christina says just give her 10 points. Just 10 points for Christina. All right, 10 points for Christina. That's what I've got. There we go. Christina gets 10 points. I literally just put 10 points there. Let's see. Weird Al, I lost on Jeopardy. Oh, okay. There we go. Let's move on to question number 7. Question number 7 is, what country is Mount Kilimanjaro in? 60 seconds on the clock. Mount Kilimanjaro. There we go. Answers will come in soon enough. I am certain of it. Mount Kilimanjaro. I do know what continent it is on. I could do that. Do we know the actual answer for the country though? That's more specific, right? We need the actual country. So, let's see if anybody can get it with the 30 seconds that is left. 30 seconds left for you to be able to answer this correctly. Let's see. Oh, getting answers in. Fire Nation. I don't even know what Fire Nation is. Is that French for something? What is Fire Nation? I need help with that. We've got Tanzania, we've got Kenya. Time's up. Let's go to the chat and see what people are are saying here. Tanzania seems to be the favorite. Kenya, I think that's where lions and tigers are, right? Only in Kenya, I feel like. Let's see. So we're waiting for Facebook to catch up here so we get all of the answers for people that were correct. All right, so time's up over here. And let's see. We've got lots of good answers. Lots of people actually getting it correct. It looks like the answer is Tanzania. I'm surprised. I'm a bit surprised here. Trey didn't get that one. I would have expected maybe Trey to have that. Ian says Canada Janeiro. Canada and Janeiro, which is not correct, but I'll give you a style point for that one. Trey went with Kenya. That is not correct. Emily has Tanzania with a question mark. Tanzania. Diana goes with a Karen, which unfortunately you lose a point there because a bunch of people actually got it right. Renita also with a point, doing well. All right, so one of the best shows ever. Oh, okay, it's one of the kingdoms in Avatar. Lori went with didgeridoo, which is an instrument and not a nation. Lori, a style point for you for didgeridoo, just to see if you could confuse other people with it. I like it. Let's see. Looks like the first person who got that correct was Septic Scope over at the UK. So 2 points to Septic on that. Everybody else who said Tanzania, 1 point for you. Again, keep track of your points. Casey has joined us. Hello, Casey. Welcome to the show. We are all the way to question number 8, I think, at this point. Question number 8. So let's do question number 8. The question is, what breed of dog is Scooby Doo? Right? We know that he is scared. He's a scared dog, but what would it be? What was the breed that he is? What is he? What type of dog? Other than a big, goofy dog that likes getting high. We know that he likes getting high. He loves his Scooby snacks, that's for sure. But what was his actual breed is what we need. So get your answers in. Oh, I forgot to put the time on. So you're going to still have 60 seconds, everyone. You get the benefit of the doubt there because I was slow to the trigger on that. But yeah, you'll still want to get answers in. And let's see, Danny, a little behind still. Danny, you still working on your shopping list? Is that the problem there? I feel like you're usually so much quicker. What is the problem? It's a very long grocery list that you're working on. A lot of people going. We've got a bloodhound, a lot of Great Danes. It looks like a 15 seconds, a mongrel. Maybe a mongrel, like maybe it's a mutt of some sort, just a combination of different things. That could also be the case. Let's see, what else do we have? I'm trying to get everybody on. All right, time's up. We're going to the chat. Let's wait for Facebook to catch up here. Make sure that all the people who get it correct get their points. So the correct answer, by the way, as we're waiting for Facebook in, the correct answer is Great Dane, by the way. He was a Great Dane. We're waiting for Facebook to catch up to make sure that all the people who could answer did answer. We're up to 24 people watching. Thank you for coming and checking this out. Hit that like button if you're enjoying what you're seeing, and definitely put your answers in the chat as well. That helps not only give us points and lets you participate in it, but it also in the algorithms and stuff. If you comment, it'll make more people see it. So it's kind of a way of sharing it as well. All right, so I need to go through and make sure everybody's getting their points. So Jenny gets a point. Lori, you get a point, even though you missed a letter there. I think I've got a pretty good idea of what you were trying to say there. That I think there are very few. Was it Lori that I saw? Yeah, very few Great Anes out there. So that was probably Great Dane you were going for. Diana, you're also getting a point. Great Dane says Melissa, so point there. I tried to get out ahead of everybody, but there's a lot of answers because everybody's participating, which is really cool. So glad we're all here and doing this. We missed you all the last couple of days. It had gotten a little quiet, I think, because of the long weekend. Let's see. Ian goes with a snickerdoodle, which is not a type of dog, even though it does sound like a type of dog. That is actually a type of cookie. And septic, what a cookie is a biscuit. That's also what that would be called. So a style point for you, but not an actual point, unfortunately. But I think that's what you're going for anyway. It feels like a close race. I think it also might be. Renita, unfortunately, not a mutt. Actually, a Great Dane. Danny says, I'm cheap. I'm figuring out how many points I have with Price Chopper right now for free cash and what I need for 2 days before payday. Ah, okay. So you're doing math as well. It is. See, it's very tricky to do math and participate at the same time. I didn't know they actually specified a breed for Scoob. Yeah, apparently they did. He was a Great Dane. Although Dan disagrees and says he was an okay Dane at best. Trey says, Great Dane so much better than so Danes. That is true. If you call them a good dog, it's talking down to them. That's great. Bad Danes. The worst kinds of Danes, right? The problem with Great Danes is they end up conquering Europe. So that's a history joke. All right, so let's move on to our 9th question. Our 9th question is our penultimate question, obviously, because we've got 10. Did I say who got that first, by the way? First person with Great Dane, by the way, was Craig. 2 points to Craig. I figure I should probably mention that since you're all helping keep track of everything. So penultimate question is, what is the chemical symbol for gold? 60 seconds on the clock. I feel like this is pretty easy. I feel like this, Steam says it is Clairedane. Clairedane, which is a Great Dane by his statement. He believes that's the best. Is that the greatest of the Danes for you? Clairedanes? Lots of people coming in, it looks like, with answers. About 30 seconds left. So yeah, this might be an easier one for people than... This may have been more of a Monday question, honestly. It seems like people may possibly know this one. A lot of people quick to answer at the very least. Now, if they got it right, that's a totally different question. But a lot of people seem like they are confident. So, yeah, who knows? It could be anyone. It could go either way still. Never can tell. My scoring gets a little longer, I think, as I have to go into double digits, which is hard. We're going to the chat because time is up. Let's see. A lot of people think that it is AU. AU as the answer. It seems like a very confident group here. I'll be honest. Very few people are going against the grain on this one, which makes me think that maybe it is that. We're obviously going to wait for Facebook to catch up before we say for sure, but that does seem like it could be the case. And Facebook has caught up. So yes, the actual answer is AU. Does anyone know why it's AU? Can someone speak to that perhaps? That's a question that maybe people don't know. Is that Latin? Is it the Latin for it? That might be. Is it something else? Is it by the person who found it or something? What is AU in reference to? We're going to learn things. I'm going to make people learn things while I score stuff here. Arieric Goldfinger. Arieric Goldfinger. All right. Melissa also gets a point. Got to get that down there. By the way, the first person who jumped on this, Karen, very quick. Very, very quick to answer. That was very fast. Lori says it's Schlager. It's that's just, if you go to the periodic table, it's Schlager. You just look up Schlager for gold. Gold Schlager. I get a style point for that. Ian, Mr. T. Lots of gold on Mr. T. I understand why that might be confusing. You would think Mr. T is the actual symbol for gold, but it is not. Renita gets it right with AU. And also Diana, at the last second, comes in, gets a point for AU as well. I think we've got all of the points here. Let's see. Latin for gold is Urium. Okay, there you go. So that is it. So it's Urium. Where's the Latin speaker? Yeah, I know, right? Just a minute ago, Diana wanted to say dirty things in Latin, and now she's not helping me out with gold. For God's sakes. Karen pulled an anti-Karen by being the first one to come in. That is true. Stephen believes it stands for apple udder. That's where, I assume that's where apple butter comes from, is from the apple udder. Is that you just milk an apple udder and apple butter comes out? All right, so let's go. We got the last question, everybody. We've made it. We've made it with just a few minutes to spare. Last question of the night. Let's go through it. Let's finish this thing up. Number 10 is, the Romans called this goddess Minerva. What did the Greeks call her? So a lot of people know that the Greeks had a bunch of gods, and then the Romans came along and were like, fuck your gods. We're going to take the same gods and give them new names. And that way, you know, your gods suck. And so Minerva was the Roman god, and Athena was, or goddess, I should say, and the Greeks called that who? Jodie Foster, says Steam. That is correct. It is Jodie Foster. 25 seconds on the clock. Lots of good answers coming in. Again, it does look like the Twitch folks are faster. I will say, it still looks like they're out ahead when it comes to sheer speed. So something to think about if you ever want to move over. We could do this just on Twitch, and maybe that would be easier for everybody. Oh, all right. Time is up. We're going to the chat already. That one feels like it went by real quick. A lot of people saying Athena. To dinner. What's that? What did the Greeks call her? To dinner? Don't call me late to dinner. Is that kind of the thing? Or they just really liked the goddess and they were like, how about you come to dinner with me? Stupid Romans stealing all the deities. That's right. Getson, Spanakopita. Style point for Spanakopita. To dinner. I'll give you a style point for to dinner. Facebook has caught up. They didn't call her Shirley. That's for sure. All right. Time's up. The correct answer is Athena. That is right. So D-Lags gets the 2 points for saying it first. Now I'm going to go down. I didn't get a good... it was going by so quick that I didn't get out ahead this one. So Trey gets a point. Septic, you're also going to get a point. Karen is going to get a point. Karen gets a point. Let's see, who else? Danny gets a point for Athena. This is the exciting part of the show. You're welcome. You get to watch me count. Craig also, a little bit of commentary and the name Athena. Steam, you get a style point for Jodie Foster just because I know she's a goddess to you. But unfortunately not the correct answer. Dan Wolf gets a point. Let's see. Emily also getting a point. Oh, Emily, I've somehow wiped out some of your points, it looks like. I don't know how I did that. So we may have to correct your points in here. I don't know how yours got wiped out. Because now I have 1 point for you, and that's not correct. So I hope you were following along at home, because I definitely screwed that up somehow. All right, Melissa gets a point. And then Getson. I don't know Getson, Lori. If that was a joke, I totally missed it. Christina gets a point. Definitely correct there. Renita says Athens. Unfortunately, that's not correct. Athens is a city. There's a city called Athens, and Athena was. I assume Athens was maybe named after Athena, but two different things. So I don't think I can go with that. Oh, you corrected it below with Athena. You know what? That's fine. I'll give you that point. You obviously, that was a typo that was happening. Diana says Aretha, Respect. That is a different person, but definitely a style point for that. Steam also gets it with Athena, not Aretha, totally different. Not that's a different one altogether. Aretha Franklin, give her respect. Getson Minerva. Oh, okay. I don't know who Getson Minerva is. Great game, everybody. Oh no, you were not keeping track of your points either. Maybe I can see. I should be able to see like what my edits were. I feel like, right? Maybe. I've got an idea. I have an idea, folks. I think I can make this work. I'm going to copy what I was doing and then hit undo a bunch until Emily had points again. Because 9. Okay, here we go. So you had 9. And then I think so. And then I just, yeah, here we go. I got it. You had 10 points now. I got it. I made it work. All right. So let's go through the points, everybody. Sorry for all of the craziness. This was a pretty tight game. I'll be honest. I am surprised. We had a lot of people all bunched up together. Nikki, you got a point. Jenny, you got 2 points. Diana, you have 3 points. Craig, you have 6 points. Renita, you had 7 points. Look at how close everybody is, right? Really? Gordon had 8 points. Danny and D-Lags and Steam with 9 points. Emily and Karen and Melissa all had 10 points. Christina, Septic, and Trey with 11 points. And Dan Wolf leading the pack. You get it? You get it? You get it? With 12 points. However, we don't know if he's the winner yet because we have not gone over our shares. Remember, one of the ways that you can get points here is by sharing the show. Dan Wolf got a point. You did a host. Okay. Septic got a host over there. So Septic's going to get a point for hosting. That puts him at 12. Did anyone else over on Twitch host the show? Dan got a point for referring D-Lags to the show. Let's see. Danny says, I feel like I did great with 9 points of doing grocery list. That's good. That is very good. Let's see. Michael Barbine has 3 points for sharing. So that puts him up to 4. Let's see. Did he get any other shares? No, just those. It does say some posts may not appear because of the privacy settings. So remember, if you're sharing it privately, we're not going to be able to see it. So you have to make sure that you share it publicly. And yeah. And then Emily gets a point. Emily goes to 11 for sharing. Karen gets a point for sharing. Also goes to 11. Craig gets a point for sharing. Let's see. Craig, where are you? You get 7 points for the total. And Jenny gets a point for sharing. Thank you, everybody, for doing that. We definitely appreciate it. All right. All right, so there we go. Let's retally everything. We're resorting, and now we have 2 winners. We've got a tie tonight, everybody. Due to the sharing, we had hosting done by Septic. He hosted the show over on Twitch on his account, and that means that Septic Scope and Dan Wolf Music both win the night. So, acceptance speeches from both of you. So that is very good. Everyone gets that. Now the 2 of you are going to have to figure out what the color for tomorrow is going to be for the actual studio. So you guys have to, we have a playoff. Who's going to do a playoff question? I don't have a playoff question set, so does someone... Lori, do you have a playoff question? Lori, you were the first one to say sudden death. Do you have a sudden death trivia question for them? We'll leave it up to the people on the stream here to see if we can somehow make a sudden death. Does someone have a sudden death question? Yeah, do you have a sudden death trivia question? We'll just keep going until somebody answers. No, all right. Steam, do you have a sudden death trivia question? Emily, get ready because you're next. You're next because obviously Dan Wolf and Septic can't give a question. All right, we have a question in the chat. What was the name of Pablo Picasso's Dachshund? I always say that. Dachshund, right? Is it Dachshund? Is that how you say that? Dachshund? Those are the wiener dogs, right? Those are the little wiener dogs. Let's just call them wiener dogs. All right, Dan Wolf and Septic Scope. The name of Pablo Picasso's dog. We've got Good Boy, which is obviously not as good as Great Dane. Septic goes with Karen. That's the name of the dog. You can't throw a Karen in sudden death. I'm guessing neither of those were correct. Steam, what's yours? This is a... Sudden death is not going great. Does anybody else have questions? People type your questions into the chat, and we'll go down the list until somebody gets it. Until somebody gets one right. I'll do this. We'll do this all night. Do I need to find something? Is that the thing I have to do? His name was Lump. Aw, little Lump. Little Lump dog. Hey, Lump dog. No one else is participating. All right, this makes it so much harder for me. You're all changing the things and making my life more difficult rather than helping. Why wouldn't you help me? Why? Anyone? All right. How many sisters does Donna from that 70s show have? All right. 1 and 3. 1 and 3. What do we have? What? All right. There's going to be a lot of me just sitting around. So what do we got? What do we have? Come on. All right, I'm going to ask one while we're waiting because this is taking far too long. 2, nobody got it right. What is the oldest continually inhabited city in the world? What is the oldest continually inhabited city in the world? First person to answer it correctly wins. The oldest continually inhabited city in the world. Then I'm going to keep going. Here we go. I'm going to just keep answering some and see if you get any of them. Luxembourg. Rome. Not correct. That is not true. I'm just going to start going on places and seeing if... Is this going to make me have to go? Oh, no, these are terrible. These are just... All right, here we go. I'm just doing bar trivia questions now. Y'all are just not helping one bit. Steven said 2. Yeah, Steven actually asked the question. So it's all delayed is the problem. All right, let's see what we can do. I'm going down this list. I'm picking something. What do we have? Who starred as Mr. Rogers in the film It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood? Oh, we have how many ribs does a human have? 12 and 18. Okay. Are either of those correct? How many ribs does a human have? 12 or 18? What was the correct answer? 24. Unfortunately, neither one is correct there. But I said, who started Mr. Rogers in the film It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood? And the answer is Tom Hanks. So Dan Wolf wins. Dan Wolf gets it. There you go. So Dan Wolf, all you get above that. I'm not giving you an extra point. You get to choose what color the studio is tomorrow. And so let's get our acceptance speeches in the chat. While you're doing that, I'm going to remind everybody, don't forget, you'll want to follow or subscribe to this show. We're never doing sudden death again. That was terrible. All right. So yeah, do that. Turn on alerts so that you know when the show goes on. It's at 7 o'clock every night, as long as we can make that happen. And we will post, if we can't do that for some reason, we're going to post on our social media. So you'll want to follow us on Twitter and Facebook, because we post there if something goes awry. So that's where you're going to get your news. We also post in the Facebook group, Another Wasted Group. So go check that out. We also have a podcast called Another Wasted Hour on all podcast locations. Go search for Another Wasted Hour. Anywhere you would get a podcast, search for Another Wasted Hour. Go listen to it. Subscribe to that. It's really great. Give us a review and some stars and all of those things as well. Yeah, don't forget to tell your friends about this like Dan Wolf did. We and the rest of the folks who shared also, we appreciate it because it's a lot of fun this way. So yeah, those are all of the things. Dan Wolf says, you only made me want to rage quit 3 times. You're a ruthless little group of psychopaths, and I applaud you for that. I agree, Dan Wolf. You want it to be orange, then it will be orange tomorrow. Don't forget to check out Dan Wolf at danwolfmusic.com. That's Wolf with 2 L's, right? Or 2 F's. Is it 2 F's or 2 L's? 2 F's. It's 2 F's. Dan Wolf with 2 F's, music.com. He is a very talented man who has been on the show before. We will see everybody tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow is Wager Wednesday, where you can bet all of the points that you have earned up to that point. So you could double your score, or you could lose it all. So we will see you then. I think that's about it. So everybody, until tomorrow at 7 o'clock, everybody stay safe, stay healthy, stay home. Don't forget to do all the things that you need to keep yourself safe, even when you go out. Keep a social distance. If you can't keep a social distance, wear a mask. We want to see you all again here, so we don't want you getting sick. We don't want you dying. For all the people who are making the world go round, who are essential employees, all of our healthcare workers and people who are taking care of people and shipping things and all those things, so that we can stay home and stay safe. Thank you for your sacrifice. We know it's huge, and we really appreciate it. So until tomorrow at 7 o'clock, this is me signing off from Another Wasted Hour. And yeah, that's all I got. Bye, everybody.